Rolling.
Hey everybody, Mandus here with Sarah Lyon at the 2019 Olympia. This is what you've been waiting for. This is the prediction show. Sarah, let's start with Women's Physique.
Women's Physique. This is going to be an awesome battle, I think, between Shanique Grant and wildcard Sarah Villegas. Now I say Sarah Villegas because we've seen her on stage multiple times. Every single time she brings a bigger and better package, fuller, but her lines are very pretty and she maintains that femininity through all of her presentation and her stage presence. I think going into that third place spot is where Natalya is going to end up following next to Sheila Black as well. I think they just have a little bit more muscle for the women's physique division, but they still bring that hard, perfect conditioning for the division as well.
I think this is a division where you see Shanique Grant win it again. This should be locked down by Shanique. We've seen pictures. Last year she was a little watery, but she has supreme structure. She looks even more conditioned this year. Followed by Natalya second, Sarah Villegas third, Dani Castillo fourth, rounding out with Jennifer Taylor in the fifth spot.
Interesting.
Moving on to the bikini division, Sarah, you will definitely lead here.
So with Bikini, I think after we saw Laura Lee and Angelica battle last year, we know that it's going to be 1 and 2 again, I believe. They both have very similar physiques, very similar shapes, lines, and they both have great stage presentation and the good, perfect conditioning for Bikini. Not too hard, not too soft. But I think Laura Lee's going to take it this year. She looks definitely on point, and to me, Angelica always comes in a little too loose in the hams and glutes. So I think Laura Lee's going to be in that first place slot, followed by Angelica. Then I think third, you're going to see Janet. I think after her Arnold win, they still love her look. They still love what she brings to the stage. Followed by Elisa Cassini. And then I think that fifth place spot is kind of open. I think it could maybe go Jennifer Dory's way, depending on her conditioning that she brings. Or maybe Monica Ellis. You've seen a lot of her and in that champion circle as well.
I agree with you that I think we're going to see a new champion. I just think it's somebody different. I think with the momentum from the Arnold and being at the top of this division for so long, I think you're finally going to see Janet Leyu pull through and win her first Olympia title, followed by Angelica. I think you're going to see Isa Piscini finish third, Laura Lee fourth. I think Laura Lee is going to slip a little bit just because so many coaching changes this year. This is her third or fourth coach within a year. That's a lot of different sets of eyes. It's a lot to deal with going into a show this big. And Priscilla Lombach rounding out in the fifth spot. She had a lot of points early on. Her body started to look tired at the end, but she's taken a long break since. I think she should come back rejuvenated. And because of the length of Janet and Laura Lee, I think another taller athlete has a better chance to look good standing in that call out. Moving on.
Figure.
I think this is an open and shut case. I think we're in the middle of seeing history. I think Sid Gillen will go down as the greatest figure champion of all time.
With a long time to keep going.
With a long time to keep going. I think you're going to see her third victory, followed by Nadia Watt. Natalia Soltaire third, Jessica Reyes Padilla fourth, and I think we're going to see the return of Latorya Watts finishing in the fifth spot. That structure is just out of this world. I would like to say, I'd like to throw a dark horse in there. You know, I know we only talk about top 5.
Okay.
But Bojana has such stage presence and is so conditioned. I think you're going to see her in the first call out and battling and probably will end up somewhere in that 6th spot.
I don't know about that. I think Bojana does bring great conditioning, great stage presence, but I think that her waist is going to look wide next to the girls. I think the girls that you are going to see in that top 5, I agree with you. I think Sydney's going to be a repeat, making her 3-time champion. I think the return of Latorya is going to be awesome to watch, and fingers crossed, it's a great show. But I don't have her in that 2nd place spot. I have Nadia Wyatt in that 2nd place spot. She was really on at the Arnold, and you know, if she brings that similar package, she'll be undeniable. I do have Bojana, you know, mixed in there, but you know, with that 3, 4, 5 place, I think it's kind of a toss-up. I don't think anyone's really set in stone for any of those placings. So.
You know, it would be great to see. It's been a long time off stage, so a lot of times with that long time off, usually you're not quite in a great condition. Latorya had great shape, never was known for her stellar conditioning, but if she brings it, she absolutely can be battling for that second and third spot. We wish her the best of luck, as she is a past champion and really is the one who elevated this division to a whole nother level.
She definitely brought it to where it's at today.
Fitness is one of our favorite divisions.
Oh, we love it. Love watching
the fitness.
If you haven't seen fitness, you need to go on Maximum Muscle Report, check out all the fitness posing routines. We have them from almost all the shows that we cover, especially all the Tim Gardner production shows.
Absolutely.
You always make sure to include fitness.
The most entertaining division in the IFBB profession.
Most definitely.
Who do you have?
I got Whitney as a repeat champ, and it's always hard because Whitney and Rael, you know, you can really pull, but I think the champ is the champ. You got to really knock them out of the water, and I just don't think that Whitney's going to not be on to be knocked out of the water. So I think you're going to see a repeat of the top two as Whitney and Rael. I think maybe in that third place spot we'll see Jenny Worth. She also takes long off seasons, comes back, does the Tampa Pro, qualifies, and then comes back to the O. So we saw her just in the Tampa Pro not too long ago, and she nailed everything. So it'll be great to see. And then that 4th and 5th place spot, I got maybe Missy Truscott. She always brings a stellar routine, but again, we haven't seen her. Yep, we haven't seen her on stage in a long time, so it'll be her kind of comeback, if you will, back to the stage in 2019. And then I love the energy that Tiffany Chandler brings. So if her conditioning's on, I think that her routine really amplifies the audience, and the judges really like her look as well. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see with that one. What about you?
This is one of my favorite stories of the year. I wish more people knew about this. 1 and 2. So Whitney Jones won the Olympia last year. Rael turned around and won the Arnold this year. They are as close as can be. They are two of the best ambassadors that the IFBB Professional League has ever had in any division.
In any division, absolutely.
They're a bundle of joy. They're always uplifting. They're as close as can be. And this is Rael's last show. So with that being said, I do think you will see a repeat because Whitney had a series of injuries the last couple of years, and she's been, for the most part, knock on wood, healthy for the majority of this year. A healthy Whitney Jones is just about unbeatable in this day and age. It's very scary. Look forward to seeing her new routine. Rael is as good as they get. I think she'll finish second again. Jacqueline Baker third. Jen Worth fourth, and Marta Aguilar finishing fifth.
Sure.
Men's physique.
The men's physique division. I think this is probably the second most fun division to watch because of the camaraderie in the division, but also the constant battles in a friendly way. I think Brandon looks undeniable. I think Brandon will be a repeat champion. I think that 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th is going to be all jumbled around. So I think after seeing Akeem Scott, I could put him in that 2nd place. He looks great. He looks great from the front. He looks great from the back. He has the shape, the size, the conditioning. It'll be interesting to see with him. I think Ray is going to follow in that 3rd place spot. You got Akeem, Ray, and then I have George in the 4th place spot. George Brown has added so much size since last year. He came and he did Salt Lake City. He blew that show out of the water, and he's been in the off season shortly thereafter. So he really has added even more size going into it. So seeing him next to Ray and Akeem, since they're all the bigger frames, taller guys, that'll be interesting to see. So I think those 2, 3, and 4 spots. And then I think Andre Ferguson's going to be in that 5th place spot. I think he's still going to be in the top 5. He always does bring a great package, good posing. But it'll be, is he hitting his back pose properly, and is his conditioning on? Because Dre is either on 100% or he's just not on at all.
I think this is, I agree with you. This is the second most exciting and interesting division due to the fact that it is so close. They are so competitive, 1 through 5. You can toss up a coin, and if the wind blows one way or the other, any one of these guys can win. With that being said, I think you see a 2-time champion in Brandon Hendrickson. He's just taking it to a whole nother level. Mentally, you can see he's in a different headspace.
And his consistency.
Yeah. 2 through 5 is very interesting. If Andre Ferguson is on, he is the second best men's physique athlete in the world. The question is, will he be on? And in the last year and a half, he's been off more than he's been on. He was on at the Arnold. He was off last year's Olympia. He was off in Puerto Rico. Still good enough to win,
sure,
but it was not anywhere near his best package. I think you can easily start to get into the habit of flipping a switch on and off, and sometimes that's hard to be able to just turn it back on. So I prefer the consistency. So I think George Brown's going to end up second because he has the most different physique from last year. He's added a ton of size, he's got a small, sleek waist, and he's a little bigger than Andre with the same type of aesthetics and a little bit smaller than Ray. So I think Andre is going to end up third. Ray is going to end up in the 4 hole. I know earlier, about a month and a half ago, I had a prediction saying George and Ray would be flip-flopping 2 and 3. I think I've made a small adjustment there. I think George will be second, Andre will be third, Ray will be fourth, and finishing fifth will be Akeem.
Similar top 5.
It's very similar. Again, with this division, 2 through 5 can go any which way easily.
Absolutely.
I don't think you're going to see more than a 1-point difference in any of these placings. So that's really going to make things interesting.
Can't wait.
Cannot wait. On to the classic physique division.
Who do you have for the win?
You know, to beat the champ, you've got to knock out the champ. Justin Miller, we spent some time last weekend, saw some stuff with George Peterson.
Oh, really?
He almost got me to change my mind. George is such a good guy. Incredible physique. Justin Miller is good. But it's not about how good of a guy you are. It's about how great your physique is on that given day. Breon repeats. George Peterson second. Henry Pierre third. Chris Bumstead fourth. I think Chris has had a bit of a rough year. A lot of things going on. Had surgery. Things weren't responding as well early on. I think he will make a comeback and look really good, but I think we're going to see him fourth. I think Danny Yonan ends up in the 5th hole, which brings me to the guy that I've been talking about all year. I talked about him last year. Keon is the guy that I think can easily slip in there, but I think we'll end up finishing 6th. Just because of the conditioning.
Oh, no.
However, if Keon ends up 3rd or 4th, it will not be a surprise at all. I had a hard time moving him ahead of any of these other guys who have brought superior conditioning time and time again. So as much as I like Keon Pearson's physique, and I think he will be a Mr. Olympia one day, these other 5, I think that's how it's going to play out.
Well, we're not too far off on those, and believe it or not, we did not review these together. I do have Breon in the 1st place spot again as a repeat, and that was truly based off of what we've seen him post recently, because for him not being on stage, not pulling water yet, he looks drier than he ever has, even on stage. So that's awesome to see. I think he's going to be a repeat. I'm going to put George Peterson in the 2nd place spot as well. I think his waist really works against him in this, but his conditioning and his size is just, he really brings such a great package, and his posing, his stage presence is always a pleasure to watch as well. I got Chris Bumstead in the 3rd place. I do agree with you in the sense that he doesn't look 100% on. Is he posting up to the minute pictures? Is he posting old pictures?
Probably not.
We know there's mind games on Instagram, so that could always be an option. I think Henry Pierre is going to fall that 4th place spot, and I too had Danny Yonan in the 5th place spot. Yeah, that's very interesting.
All right. Danny's getting some love
Yeah.
from Maximum 212. Go ahead.
Derek Lunsford. I think Derek will walk away with it. I don't think it will be much of a battle, unfortunately, between a 1 and 2 spot. I think the battle will be more between that 2nd and 5th place spot. I think you're going to see Sean Claretta end up maybe in that 2nd place spot. Ahmad Ashkani 3rd. I got David Henry in the 4th place and Edouard Poirier in 5th place as well.
Derek Lunsford Show, congratulations, young man. Let us be the first to congratulate you on your first of many Olympia titles. I believe Derek Lunsford will win the Olympia title in more than one division in the span of his lifetime. I believe that would be the first time that that's ever happened. If I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments below, but I do believe that is right. Sean Claretta, 2nd. David Henry 3rd. David Henry just keeps on going. He's been at the top for over a decade. Mm-hmm. David, you are the epitome of consistency. Ahmad Ashkenani 4th, and I think you see Edward Correa in the 5th spot. My dark horse in the 212 division, I think is going to end up 6th, and I hope gets pulled out in that first column, is John Jewett.
Okay.
John Jewett has got a lot of size. He brought that waist down. Crazy freaky wheels.
If he shows up how he showed up at Tampa finals. The difference between Tampa prejudging and Tampa finals was night and day. I did not have John Jewett winning Tampa.
Correct.
During prejudging, when he came back in finals, then it was for sure.
Whole new ball.
Absolutely. His size doesn't even look like 212.
No.
Yeah, so they
He
really
needs to be hard.
Right.
He needs to be
right.
hard
right.
for this weekend, and that'll put him in that mix.
Yeah, I mean, he had the time, so let's see, right?
Talked to Andrew Wu. He said things really responded well since Tampa. Andrew, congratulations, good luck.
Good.
It's what they all been waiting for.
Drum roll.
Now, the most exciting Olympias are always the ones where new champions are crowned. There will be a new champion this year. There's more excitement. You've got Hadi Chopin coming. He's going to be in the Open. You've got a hodgepodge of guys who could do it. You've got the 08 champ, Dexter Jackson, who's saying this would be the end, but if he wins again, will it be? I doubt it. You've got William Bonek, but he's changed his camp. What's he going to look like? You got the big beast from the East, Rolly Winkler, and you've got Brandon Curry, as aesthetic as they can be. This thing can go any direction.
Any which way.
And I think if you talk to 10 different people, you get 10 different predictions.
I agree.
With that being said, let's start with you, sir.
All right, I got Brandon Curry winning it. He has dedicated everything to this. He has proven his consistency, his dedication, the changes that he makes. He makes the changes that need to be made. He adds the size. I think falling behind him is going to be Rolly. And I, fingers crossed, hope that he brings that conditioning, because Rolly, even, again, last year at finals, we all know that finals, especially for the men's open, everyone looks better. Hopefully he brings what he brought to finals last year, of course, with the adjustments, but that conditioning to prejudging. I think falling in 3rd is going to be Hadi. I think it's long awaited to see him against these guys. And I think falling behind him is going to be William Bonek. And then I actually have Luke Sandow in the 5th place spot. I think Luke looked incredible at Tampa. I think he really has what it takes to be in that top 5, and that size and conditioning. He really brings it.
That's a strong top 5, relatively close. I too have Brandon Curry in the 1 spot. 2, Rolly. Now, if Rolly comes in condition,
he
walks away with the champ.
Right. Absolutely.
But we haven't consistently seen Rolly at his best. So I've got Brandon. I've got Brandon 1, Curry 2, William Bonek 3rd. Although he's got a new camp, I don't think a guy who's been in the top 3 for the last 3 or 4 years is going to fall all that far down, especially with 1 and 2 from the last couple of years now gone.
Right.
So Bonek 3, Hadi Chopin 4, Dexter, Clay, Jackson, rounding out the 5th spot. My dark horse, I don't know if you can call him a dark horse, is Luke Sandow. Luke Sandow could easily end up in that 4th or 5th spot if he comes in 100%. He's a fun guy to root for. Might Luke Sandow be this year's People Champion?
He could be.
He could be.
He could be.
Rolly won it last year. I have a feeling you're gonna see the Luke Sandow legions of fans.
I think Luke or Dexter's going to be the people's champ. I mean, Dexter's always a fan favorite.
Yep.
Dexter always brings it.
And if this is his last hurrah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this prediction. We've been doing this for a while here. It's the first time we've had Sarah on to do all the divisions with us. Hope you were entertained. Hold us to these. Message and comment below if you disagree or agree. Until next time, Sarah Lyon, Mandus Buckle, Maximum Muscle Report, 2019 Olympia. We're out.